Different identities. Podcast with BSCAR.
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome to another edition of the PODICAST right here at Molapo Crossing at the creative hub of Govt City. Like we always tell you every single time, we're here at Capello, but there's a bunch of other places all around the mall where you can come through as a creative and, get your hustle on. They have a small theater. If you want to do small pieces, you want a small little crowd, you're doing like poetry, you're doing maybe a listening session, you're doing a press conference, even the high-end press conferences, you can come through here. It's a beautiful setup. There's a PA system. There's seating. It's dope. And then there's the big one, which is the actual piazza, which fills up so nicely. There's lights. There's a big screen behind. Just a one-stop shop for everything creative. And don't forget, La Parada is also here. Man, there's Safalana is also here. There's everything at Molapo Crossing. And this is why every single Wednesday, we at the PODICAST come at you at 3 p.m. exclusive to the local Corner Multimedia YouTube page, which you should by now like and subscribe to. Without further ado, today is a different type of show, but like we told you, this is not a history channel. Hey, Scar, what's up, Willie? Hey. We're in 2025, moving on to 2026. And as much as we love celebrating our heroes and other entrepreneurs and people who've done things before, we also want to keep going forward because this is a new Botswana, and we're also trying to understand it and understand what role we can play to make it easier for young people who actually watch our show to find themselves employed, find themselves some business opportunities. And we can't just do that with musicians alone. We have to do it with every young person, because entertainment pulls you guys in, but the education that comes with it is how you're able to hustle your way out of poverty. And today we're going to be talking about the state of entrepreneurship in BW, man, because just recently, actually before I even get into it, I'm going to introduce our guest, okay? He's an SME development expert with over 20 years in the space. He's an entrepreneur, a citizen economic empowerment advocate, and a voice of reason when it comes to issues affecting SMMEs in Botswana. He is presently running the Job Creators Forum, a platform geared towards building solidarity between all job creators in the country, amongst other things. And he's been in the space himself for a very, very long time. He's also worked on radio. I'm sure you've heard him on Govt FM. He's contributed to the development of Botswana's national entrepreneurship policy in collaboration with the World Bank. He's a lead facilitator for the National Investment Strategy Hackathon with the Ministry of Trade. There's a lot, man, and he's going to unpack it for us. And I think he's in a very, very unique position to help us understand space is a strata. What happens go hurmenting le batho ba di zaga gore wena ole Motswana ske hela ile gore gongwe bile you have yourself a degree, you think, okay, cool, I'm not going to look for employment, I'm going to get into business. What are the hurdles that you should be looking forward to? So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Buca Matenge. What's up, Kimbo?
Thank you.
Let them brag.
No, get them mata.
You hear him properly? What's up again?
I'm good.
Yeah. Happy we better give him Morazani. That's what I did to him. What's up, big one?
I'm good.
Hey, I mean, I can't take what but like just a quick brief of who you are and what do you get up to?
Thank you, Scar, for the introduction. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, Buca Matenge,
Yeah.
an entrepreneur mostly. A failed entrepreneur, I should say, because we all go through that, and that's one should be the start. Sometimes when you talk about SME development, entrepreneurship, we want to romanticize romanticize the space that we are in.
Yes, sir.
It's hard. It's not easy. I've just been asking you guys sponsor and you're saying, that's what we go through.
Yes, sir.
I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time, but firstly, the highlight of what I've done is that I've worked for Leah at entrepreneurship development level, where I was heading programs and also making sure that programs and trainings especially the startups. So
yes,
Leah to me is one of those organizations, if you were to ask me on paper, that's one of the best programs or parastitals that did government. Because in terms of entrepreneurship, other nations are ahead of us. So we had to catch up. Remember where our parents were saying, go to school, pass, Batlatiro Mr. Pete, come to Govt, Batlatiro Mr. Smama. So we were always geared towards employees. But now we are employers, and this is where we are. Now I run a forum called the Job Creators Forum, where I look at you and say, you're a job creator, guy. You might not know, but you're a job creator. You've got 6 here. You've created jobs.
Yes, sir.
Over and above that, you've employed yourself.
Yes, sir.
If you're chosen one but no, we've changed that. We are saying we can create jobs just like other nations, Badira. And this is why we are here.
Definitely. And I think with entrepreneurship, Botswana, I think one of the biggest hurdles that we have is that we've always thought that it's about connections. And I think that's also why I brought you over here. It was because of the story that I checked out, which was trending on Facebook. And you also had an opinion on it, which pertains to the Don Bell Academy. And a lot of people had a lot of different things to say about it. For me, at first, the billboard didn't things. Okay, let's say whatever. And then the conversation went to Facebook, and everyone started making up their own minds. Yo, how did this happen? How did this become a success story? How do you define entrepreneurship in the context of Botswana today?
Entrepreneurship, for us, it's being enterprising. This is where it should be our core. Because we can't do anything now that we are transitioning from diamonds to economy leader and the SME now. We have to see ourselves and not looking for solutions outside the country. The solutions are here. People say now when I turn it around, I see diamonds. When I look at you, I see a diamond. I see what the actual stone has done. It's to bring you up, the actual diamond. So, yes, indeed, the diamonds are forever. Because if we continue in terms of being enterprising and being like other countries, America, we can lead Africa in terms of who we are. More so that so we are one. So when I'm check a DNA, I'm more Mukwena than you, and you are more Kalanga than me.
Apollo Diablo
Exactly. So those are the things that when we are now talking about SME development and entrepreneurship in this context of here, in terms of economy.
So if I was to ask you though, a not so dumb question, are entrepreneurs born or are they made?
Entrepreneurs it's both. Some of us are born with it, but along the way you have to be made, and I'll explain to you. You were born with the knack of going in and making money, cool time, but guess what? If cool time I'll tell you what you know, cool time, respect but marketing, but stock keeping, but the essence of time, but the essence of weather. They all the essences at a small scale. But imagine now as Leah or as Buca Matenge, I come in and see this potential. He was born with it, but I see this potential. And I say, yes, you understand the basics, but I can lift you, I can make you bigger. And as a system, we make it conducive that you can start from cool time to owning the bus. You can start from cool time to being owner Botswana or whatever owner, because you are growing
by scaling.
And this is what we are talking about when you're talking about Don Bell. We're not used to scaling. Because we
we're going to have to use Don Bell as an example because it's the one that everyone is just talking about and wondering ona le noga
Yeah.
but I get you are either corrupt ona le noga
Or system.
or you have a system. So with things like that, you know, how then do we help with the mind shift so that they can adopt the entrepreneurial spirit that comes with Bana Baboni? Because like you say, we're all used to graduating, going to work, but we need to create jobs. So how do we motivate that instead of how bona mutaskila yaga don belly?
Yeah, it's so funny you asked that. A friend of mine, I think it's Shike, he says to me that we are talking, and she says to me, Buka, you understand why no. He says, you remember when we were from the farm, from the agrarian era, we looked at the colonizer. The colonizer was always in the office.
Yeah.
So therefore, we aspired to always be in the office. So we worked our way at school because we wanted to replace the colonizer in the office.
Yeah.
And then, the topic of the day so there's always something about how did you get there.
Yeah, how did you get there? Yeah.
But then things have shifted. Now there's the entrepreneurship part where now you can create your own. We are not Mr. Peter and but then you are growing and you're scaling, and then we are asking, no, but we are suit and tie. How did you get there? So we are always shifting because we can't believe actually our people can be that.
Yeah.
We only believe it when it's somebody else.
Yeah.
So this is why we don't question other nations when they are here and they succeed. We don't. Whether they scale, who's asking why Ethiopia is scaling this?
Yeah.
Who's asking why Bospa is scaling?
Yeah.
But why when it comes to Botswana, it becomes a problem. Naturally, I'm happy when I see another Botswana succeed. I'm a joy when I see you succeed, Ska.
Yeah.
Because I know you're creating a job for my cousin, for my Skokolo, for me.
Yeah.
You are creating an economy that is going to benefit me.
Yeah. Definitely. So this mindset though, Buka, I mean, it's all good and well because now I think we're in good crossroads right now. Before. So now it seems like it's a must. Yeah. We need to diversify. People have been saying that word forever. Diversify. What tourism was supposed to? What? Rona as a mindset change. You know, as it happened already, we understand that now is the time for us to actually lace up our boots, put away the CV a little bit, try and find what you can do to help your nation as well as help yourself.
Yeah, no, it will come. Sometimes it's going to be forced. I think with the downward trajectory economy, it's going to force us. You remember COVID, we had changed.
Yeah.
We had changed. We were resourceful.
You know what? Someone told me, I was at a meeting, I think it was at the BITC camp, or during COVID. That's when they realized the importance of the creative industry, because it was the only one that was creating work. We were doing, even the government was putting in money. And
it is a lot of things. For instance, we then realized the value of homeschooling. Because then now they are here 3 months, almost. You have to do something about it. And this is why now for me, this Don Bell story hits here, because I see a young Botswana doing something that is uncharted. There's industries in Botswana that are not led by Botswana, and we are okay with that. Yeah. But but the mindset has to change, because it will change when we're at the bottom of the ladder. At the bottom of the ladder, that's when we are going to realize, no, but we know what we are going to end up doing. We're going to end up what's the word? Xenophobic. The people who put in the work as a community. It's only us, Botswana, who do not put in the work as a community to share opportunities, to share support, to leverage on each other, to collaborate. We don't do that.
Why is it so difficult though? Like someone gave an example, South Africa, just because ba bona gore ke mo fire ke ga sbu. Dragoni,
you name them.
All of them were always. Is it an African thing, or I mean, from your experience, why is it that when you know this product belongs to this person or is local, people tend to choose something or some meeting. And adding on to that, do you think we shouldn't tell people that we are Botswana?
Yeah, the African mind, this is an argument I always make, and we are changing. You know, we are inherently socialist. We are not inherently capitalist.
No.
So capitalism doesn't come naturally to us. I'd rather give it to you than you buying it, or exchange than that equilibrium. So the mindset of somebody seeing somebody just grow and amass and become this wealthy is like in Kibua. So we are transitioning to this where wealth it is channel a road. High channel Mr. PTL or somebody of a different color. It is channel a road. But because we still from that mindset, with the education we had accepted, or we've got PhDs done, we are okay. Remember, even land like a PhD. You remember with the education? No, it is there.
I know.
Yeah. So it is psyche. It becomes a psyche of the people. Are we okay? With the success that I want. So sometimes I'm reflecting. How when I go home, it has nothing to do with it. Everything to do with me. I don't see myself in you. So this mindset is going to change, like economy because I'm not trying to reap.
Yeah. Hey, so what is the current state of entrepreneurship in Botswana? Are we thriving? Are we surviving or stagnating? And like I'm saying, and I'm not trying to be xenophobic as well. I mean, Botswana was scaled, not the naturalized Botswana.
Yeah, for most of us, we are first generation entrepreneurs, or almost second generation. Yes, our parents were trying, but they were not doing it the way we want to do it. We want to see ourselves in other countries. We want to see ourselves. Our kids want to be America, not Africa, UK. So the state of entrepreneurship in Botswana is growing. I love it. Young people are coming up. Young people are getting degrees and say, hey, wait a minute, I'll put it here. Let me create something. Innovators are there. You can see with the stories I don't, but I know a lot. I've worked with a lot of young people
you can shut them out
amazing.
As well.
I've got a young lady go pico Naira peanut butter, and the story is always the same. She had to be shut down, Kadilonyana, and making the best peanut butter in the country. I've got another young lady, Wira, a soup, a juice, the product. And there are many. I've got a young person who did a feed, formulation, young.
Wow.
But the thing is, do we see the value in this so that Lorona as a system, enable our nature whole? When I see them, do I say what not support their pity, but support this is my own product, I love it, it's quality. So in terms of the state, I would say for the young people, because remember we are one of the youngest nations in the world. We are one of the youngest nations in the world. So it is very important that right now we get our young people, Elon Musk, when you trace their history back, 17, and now they are a billionaire and they control the world economy. We want to see that, and we should be intentional about doing that. And hey, we've managed to create 10 million, 20 million years. There's a listing where the top 10 billionaires or rich people.
Hey, Mekana, this also answers a question that we've always had when we were growing up before social media. Because now it makes sense. Once they are going to target you.
No, you forget, Ska. When you were rich, when you became rich, it's either so it is a thing. It has become a psyche. We don't realize these things, so we laugh about them, but they become a part of us. So everybody knows who was born in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s. They'll tell you, otherwise it is a thing.
But it's always been like that. So what are the major challenges that small to medium sized businesses face today in Botswana? And and have these challenges changed over the times?
It's basically, the community where we don't collaborate enough. We don't support our own enough, but also the bottlenecks, government bottlenecks, the impediments. Government is supposed to be an enabler.
Yeah.
Government is not a disabler. Government has to be providing the environment in a conducive for all of us to thrive.
Yeah.
But then they are disabling you.
Yeah.
They should be coming and say, "Oh, how can we help you?
Yeah.
How can we work with you?" So there's that element where now, because of 1967, 2025, we find ourselves now seeing government as this principal nonsense. Number two is access to finance. Botswana don't have access to patient capital.
Yeah.
So therefore we can't scale.
For those who don't know, ke madi a kgona gore a go emele gore o bone gore wa-
a go emele 10 years, a go emele 15 years, a go emele 20 years.
Venture capitalists or-
Exactly, so
yeah.
that you grow. But no, we have a system where ra tsitlaganngwa. A gore menta a tshwere 2 million, o tshwantse ra bona gore re nena re le 20. Ha ka tja mo neela motho a le one, because ha mo neetse motho a le one, it's like, o nile corrupt. But tshwantse ra satisfy the whole. But this whole, they're going to grow slowly. Some of them are not going to grow. So we need patient capital, especially when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to construction and infrastructure. We need patient capital. The other guys beat us. I'll tell you, my China, the Chinese are getting tenders and contracts. Where do they get money? From their government in China. They have been supported. When I got 10% towards the tender, you don't have 10 million or 50 million. So how is the system, how's the community enabling you as a Motswana to grow? So I always say this, guy, and it's sad. You'll see in my face as I speak. A Motswana is always asked to perform or to create miracles in business. And box himself out of the ring, beating everybody. And I'm proud of those that have managed, because they've done it with their hands tied behind their back. Sometimes even both of them. Let's make this environment conducive for Botswana to succeed. I'll tell you, this country will transform, because everybody will roll up their sleeves and say, let's work. Because at the end of the day, it's in our economy, it's as a people, it's our country that is at stake. And only through SME development and Botswana we will go everywhere.
Yeah. You know, the other day I got the shock of my life. The charges it's a sipa kana ke tsaeng. Tse di kgona gore di emise company ya gago. Gongwe bile o emetse Spanish se sengwe, o sena la haele zaga le gore o emetse gore Spanish se sengwe se tsene. And then wa bolela gore membership ya gago o emi, ibile ba tlo go bantsha company ya gago mo systeming. Okay, can we talk to that? What is that? And why do you think it was set up in the first place? And does government need our money for us to be running? I mean, that's a lot of money for you to be getting out. Business.
I understand, but let me put it this way so that you can understand. Ska oko South Africa, ne? Ska oko South Africa. Le Ska o mo Botswana. Both of them tender or look for a job e mo Botswana. Right? Yeah. Ska oko South Africa ga batlwe office, ga batlwe dio tsa sipa, ga batlwe sepe se se leng se batlwa mo Botswana.
Tax return somebody.
Exactly. But when what do say wa di batlwe. So therefore you are always going to be in that way. So it's your own environment that is disabling you. For what? I don't know.
So these rules?
So the rules we set them up as if we are setting them up for Rona so that we do not succeed. But going to issue Yasipa, it's very simple. Yes, there has to be regulation. Yes, we can't all be entrepreneurs. Yes, we can't all be wasting government resources around registered company because we want to tender and render the tenderpreneurs. But there are people who are genuine, who can try, and they've been doing it for the 10 years, but we have 500 pula thing. And on the 11th year, just like it's happening. But as a system, you have to be able to know. I'll explain a system to you, Ska. A system is a system.
Yeah.
If I put something that is foreign in my mouth, I'm going to regurgitate it.
Yeah.
System.
Yeah.
So if for 10 years you've been running a company and some anomaly happens in the 11th year, a system has to regurgitate that to self-correct.
Yeah.
But no, will kill you.
Yeah.
The system will kill you. Oh, how do you, you're gone. 10 years of what you've done, what you've been doing, gone, done.
Just because you couldn't pay.
Because you couldn't pay.
3,000.
But guess what? It's because we understand the economy is down.
Yeah.
COVID happened.
Yeah.
The recession is at least like 2008. We tried to get out of it, but we are back to where we were.
Yeah.
So it is not just around Rhone. But like I was saying, now you are going to say, let's compete. Other countries now come in and compete and compete for the same pie.
The same jobs. Jesus Christ. So are we agreeing then that it's hard to do business as a startup, Mobuzwana?
It's a system, yes.
Yeah,
it's a system that we can't blame anyone. Nah, I will never blame Bachwakwakanamang. It is us. I'll tell you, I've got a young person that I was mentoring, right? Fresh from university, a degree in tourism, right? She wants to open up an agency, a travel agency, so that guess what? Office. No. After office, 5 years experience. Her counterpart, develop an app in the UK. And they can then trade in Botswana without nothing. So you see how warped we are, even in terms of now protecting what we have for our kids. So this thing, it infuriates me because we see it, we live it, and everybody animate. But we can't change it. Why? Because for some reason, when we are comfortable, we are okay with it.
Yeah.
So it's not anything, it is the system that we have created ourselves.
Hey, can I talk about I can really change the system because I guess we changed it in October. Maybe.
Yes, we changed it in October. Now and it's not only politicians. Come on, Ska.
They run the world. They run this country. I think if you are not endorsed by a parliamentarian or a minister or someone in parliament, that because I'm talking as a musician, because there's no musician in there. But we'll focus the mood. But I think no one will lobby for something saying is not close to their hearts. You know what I mean? So could make the difference, but they're not.
Yeah, but Ska, listen to this. It's gonna be controversial, right? You are asking people who were themselves unemployed 12 months ago to now start understanding how to create employment and working around. No.
Yeah.
It is us. We got them in. Let's now show them and work with them to say, guys, we were together. This is how we could be done.
It's almost
it's going to be difficult because even themselves were this side.
Yeah.
I can only fathom if I was that side, len nakija 200 to because but it's sure we should never mortgage our thinking and our thoughts to politicians. Politicians are there for a reason. When these issues arise, and this is why we're having this conversation. And I know this conversation will reach somebody because they've been in that space. Trust me, there are guys who are in the system now who understand entrepreneurship to the T and who are willing to work with us and change it. But the only challenge is that there's a thing called government machinery.
Yeah.
It is tedious, it is slow.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. Government machinery is slow.
But what the president speaks to when he talks about eliminating all this red tape, do you think it's as easy as he says it with his mouth? And this is what we're all looking forward to, is like, how are you going to make it easier for us to register to be able to compete?
Yeah. Where
is that possible for him? Or do you need a robust guy like a Donald Trump to just walk in there and just say, all right, cool, this is not working for us, work on some legislature to make sure this thing changes right now, EB?
Yeah, I always say to people, Ska, we need, as a country to transform, we need a benevolent dictator. Somebody who comes in.
This talk is being said a lot of.
We need a benevolent. I'm good with my people. But I'm going to be a dictator and dictate things so that they work. I don't care who says what. But I'm hate me.
You're not the only one who said it.
Exactly. So, and this is what the president is trying to do. But because there's an issue of politics, and I'm gonna start making a direct. It's trying to saying I want to shake up the system, but when you do them, you have to do them right as well. Yeah, na the director appointment they no sky, no buka, no mama. Maybe the buka thing had sing has out. Never in the system we blacklist you. We move forward because I am serious like that. So we need a leader like that who is not going to rely on the likes of Facebook and say, nah, I'm doing this. It's a sacrifice to himself. It's a sacrifice because obviously we're going to hate him. We're going to hate him. Why is it time? I didn't But when you look back, you realize this guy was on the right. So saying that we are able, we can't do it. But also the guys that surround him, the guys that say, that he says, go and do, let's do this. They have to be like him. They have to think like him. They have to have the country's interest at heart. Now, there's a lot of self-interest that has crept in over the years. Self-interest. Corruption in Zanaska. I don't care whether you breathe or you don't breathe. I don't care whether I don't care. As long as me and mine, even caviar, we are good. So we need people who are selfless, like our forefathers. Guys that built the University of Botswana without even thinking, without even thinking. But guys who build Princess Marina without even saying, guys who build roads, but so guys that understand they are building a future that they might not be participatory in, but they know this is for the greater good of this republic. Guys that love this country so much, and that's what patriotism is all about. So we need guys like that, and we have to now push this into their minds. Or this is the kind of leadership that we want.
With some of the government initiatives from the past, because we are seeing some of these things, some of them being maintained by today's government. I mean, there hasn't been too many radical changes. Are there any initiatives apart from Tsonetsabo Leah? Because I'm a big fan of Leah. I've seen, wherever they are, as well, really, really trying. Even with those kids who got grants, we know who you are, guys. Every other day. But do you see any government initiatives that have effectively supported entrepreneurs in Botswana?
Yes, you see this with the setting up of Leah, especially because Leah. So people hate Leah and they don't understand Leah because Leah does not fund, does not give her. But Leah those that are trying, some of them are chances, some of them are that. And then once we have somebody like that who keeps you busy whilst you're still finding yourself, and then we have a robust organization.
Keeping you busy, educating you.
Exactly. But then when you realize, you then have an organization like SIDA that has patient capital, not just because SIDA over the years was made to satisfy so business plan, they expect to be funded. And Leon SIDA Hamadi 5 million. No, they're gonna give you 3 or 2 or 1, and sometimes hella because but you're gonna fail. Trust me, we've done that. A lot of us have done that. They've taken 99% of them they fail because that was not in the plan,
in the projection.
So we then build an organization like SIDA, capacitator, so that it can fund. Even if we fund in a year's 20 entrepreneurs, large scale, Boska Bale 20 you had economic espionage. Nigeria. He then becomes the biggest thing in Nigeria.
Like let's say.
Yes. But imagine how in owner. And this is what these countries are doing. We don't realize these countries studies. Why do you think somebody can sit there to own 10,000 plots in Botswana? Do you think but we don't do that. Let's do that for our own. Will be too big about you understand? So it becomes self-interest as well. But imagine Donald, not Richard Branson by 10. So we take Botswana, go and be in the UK. Do
you think though that these entities have been corrupted? because now we've been seeing a lot of these, I like to call them social media investigations, because none of them really ever come to fruition. About SEDA, we saw the CEO get suspended on all kinds of accusations. Have they muddied the waters of something that could have been a beautiful spring?
Yeah, no, yes and no. You see, SEDA is an organization. It's a system.
It's a system.
Yeah, like I was saying, if a system, it has to regurgitate.
Yeah.
But if the system, we then become obese.
Yeah.
What
are you talking about?
You see? So I'm saying to you, as a system,
Yeah.
SEDA, it should be so robust enough that we cannot blame all our fortunes on one person. It's an application. It's an approval the other thing.
Yeah.
Yes, we ever had bad labor.
Yeah.
But now from where I stand, I can't say I'm failing because of Boko. I can't.
Yeah.
Why would I say I'm where I am? I'm failing because of the system that we are failing to make it work for all of us.
Yeah.
All of us. We are in this system. And guess what? When we our own fiefdoms, but you're not going to enjoy your riches. You can't enjoy your riches because we are going to come in there and take your phones and take your laptops and take your cars and take your children because we are hungry.
Yeah. Hey, because a lot of plots in the cover look at the aluminium di sanke ne ile mabala a majitana ba thola ba tsameka bolo mo gone a rona na rara teng ne ile apela ga nkwa piri clinic yana go beilo body go tswetswe le apela ga lem board. And with private public partnerships and stuff like that, where does the community come in? Because there's a lot of those things popping up. Because the change happen na le pulanya nele ne dia tsewa ba ngo ba ditsere ba ile go itirela matoka bone. How bua ka bo PPP, where do we come in as the community?
Yeah, I love that question, Sky. It's one of the most important questions.
Yes,
Sky, from where we are as a people, we always had what we called shared values, shared inspiration. I'll tell you, now from the history, the Khosis were always for them because you took out the rubbish. But when it came to Aba enabler, and there were periods when the farming season, and then he would allow things so that real farmer, so that and also storing the seeds. But we don't have, where we are now, we don't have a shared vision. We don't have shared values. And as a nation, we have disintegrated. So that's why I don't care whether my neighbor would haja. I don't care as long as it matters not. So where we should start now, around triple P go go tse dintsi o di adima brazeni o nna tla go gama a ira o go tla mafisa o di gama o shebile tsela gore mongwana o tlogana so wa di motlhokomela khante lo bile khante lo go duetse ka khongwana khante lo wena. That is was a shared vision, because you could never have somebody a robala le M2 and quotes.
Yes,
you see, but imagine if we took these concepts and modernize them to what we are doing now. Your crowdfundings, your triple Ps, your this and that, as if it's something that's foreign. We built our university at Botswana. By the way, my name, Buca. Botswana University Campus Appeal. That's the University of Botswana.
Yes, sir.
You see where it comes from. And these were guys, but they were forward thinking. They build a university by Itzore now in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Bana batla batsena, but bana ba batla bairang. Eta building ngaka, eta bile bo tautona wa gompieno. It's a graduate. And these guys ba tsenya di khomo ba irang. Guess what he's done for them the first time I tsena in office? He ogelitse madi, oba ogelitse madi. You see, when you're forward thinking, you pay things forward. It is simple like that. But we never see these things and said, wait a minute, we actually created this. We actually created this value. So when we have a shared vision, when we have a shared value, and we are nationalistic about where we are going as Botswana, we can't be touched. We can't be touched because all these things, crowdfunding, Triple P, so Triple P, exactly. Triple P was just simple. What community e kopana ha ka ile goromente lo yena go le mo teng o kopana le community lo nna bararo o bolore le hatsi ke le re ka irang ka lona no nka ira ditiro tse di kana wena goromente tla ka se nna ke tla ka se lo yena tla ka se shared value.
And I think the perfect example to show what sometimes we are not that combined when it comes to shared value is what happens in the Buteti area, you know, where the biggest mines in the world are situated, but you wouldn't see it until and even still Letlhakane doesn't look like you're about to get to where the diamonds are. It looks like a ghost town. It's like Mantua Salengagilo in the 70s and stuff. So I think Lorna loses the concept here. And I think we're hopeful that this government, I want us to get into your government. What role should government play in building a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem?
The government should play a good referee and the one who enables everybody to thrive, not the one who stifles. Gormente ga tshwana go ipona a taboga a lelekise ba simane ba di cool time ba botsa re ba batlaeng o batlang ha roboto. Yes, as long as you know he's doing well and ga utsu gare, then we are okay.
Why doesn't it make any? Why is molao and common sense not connecting? Like, Buca, I'm serious though. Like, why is there such a miss?
No, I'll tell you, it's funny. It's also sad in that as Botswana, as a culture, we are also self-policing. You know, we police ourselves. Right? Tell me the number one guys who have made millions out of it. You know, our brothers from up north.
Yes, sir.
System so it is that when it comes to Botswana, we take a heavy stake and then but when it comes to others, project failures as well, because government should be an enabler. Government should support. Government should make sure that the environment is conducive for you and I to thrive. That's it. More government will create jobs. No. Leave it to us. We'll create jobs. When I just be collect tax, regulate, make sure that the environment is good. Public safety, let's support. Government is not going to create jobs. But create.
I mean, it's still the biggest employer in the country, but no private sector. Do you think our private sector is hiding behind the fact that we are so highly dependent on government? Because, and I'm sorry to say, we still want advertising, guys. But like I feel like instead of advertising on, let's say, a PODICAST like this, someone is gonna go start off their own podcast. So, what role are they supposed to play? And are we expecting too much from the Botswana private sector because they never step up?
Yeah, but private sector, apart from the Botswana, my man, you're talking about South African companies. Yeah. So why should they?
Yeah.
Why? Botswana is just another desert.
You just burst my bubble.
Yeah. Why should they? Why should they care when we don't care? Let me give you an example. Do you understand? I'm gonna give you a picture. There's a thing called hydroponics. Hydroponics is when you have water like this, and you have a plant here, and you have a machinery where this water waters this plant, and it goes back, and right, and it's cleaned. That hydroponics. And then we've got aquaponics, where now you put an element of fish, where the fish, they drop in certain it's nutritious and water to this, and then it gets cleaned. So I would say this one more planting. So it's a system, right?
System.
Imagine that in economy of Botswana. So economy of Botswana in we've got the water, which is our wealth. This water is watering somebody's garden in South Africa. So it's lush.
Yeah.
It's watery. High spinning mo go rona.
No.
So imagine if you put $1 billion here, Ska, and I take it and put it in Zim. But imagine if I put $1 billion here and it rolls between us. It rolls. How many nourishments around?
And
so this is so you're talking about private sector that does not care, that takes our wealth and puts it back to South Africa. I'll tell you, so all of them, and because South Africa, they've got a system that understands. It's a system that understands. We're gonna go out and conquer the world.
So Rona, corporate espionage, like you were saying.
Yes, it's corporate espionage. When Thabo Mbeki was in corporate out here, so when he was president, when he traveled to anywhere, especially in Africa, he'd bring 100 South Africans.
Yeah.
100 South Africans meet with 100 Botswana, cook something. And now it's the African Renaissance. And if you listen to the speeches of how he loved Africa, change about the self.
So do you think so the African Renaissance was actually practical? It wasn't just a man saying his speech.
Oh man, it's practical.
Yeah.
It's practical. And you can see DGB sees it. He sees it, he speaks of it, but it's systems in these countries that are saying, no, we are not doing it. But nowadays, because we self-sabotage, we'd rather let South African companies thrive. We'll rather let Chinese construction companies thrive. I'll tell you, they will tell you, hey, project here. The biggest project failures in this country, it's from Chinese.
Yeah.
So give me how proud the example. You can't tell me. But every time you're gonna use this scarecrow as if and again no failure. But also this is the thing, painting by all Botswana same brush.
Yeah.
And guess what? Even these tenders in where's the money at? So the hydroponic system economy, it's not there. We can't even have the wealth. Wealth so are saying one pula mo Botswana ha re molatlela gare ga rona emergency one pula ha tse 30 seconds about disappearing
ba le ko China ka go China
bonerra ka Friday go anniwa hatse go buiwa and it's good. It's how they do business. What? Hey, when Buca go to the restaurant industry, support. Oh, when the construction, and they support each other. You know, I'm gonna use this word. The Indian community, they can be resaukan in Nalwe.
Yeah.
But when an opportunity comes, Rahidira road. When there's a families disabui. But when an opportunity comes, Rahidira road and win.
Yeah.
But Nalwe, no, like Kaparatuba, and Kaparatuba. Singwe happy gore re thube re seng. In fact re ska ra idira fine a mongwe go idira Simon a idira, but no re thuba mo pelo re seng. That's what we are doing with the young lady Wadon Bell. You have a young person who's done well, who's doing well, who's employing close to 400, who's paying above about 4,000 pula per less than that, because we but no, we look at this person and we shame and we are saying let her fail. But we are not saying, oh, wait a minute, okay, young to enable her to, how do we take this, what she's done to Nigeria? Because Nigeria, there's a population of 150 million or 200 million. Brazil, they are like us, they are black like us. Education, all education is sufferante. Don't Bell, man, Don't Bell will thrive. We do not understand his scale.
Yeah.
But we are happy with Nando's. I'll give you an example. I'm in the catering business,
Yeah.
Restaurants, from Govt to now.
Sir.
So you'd have a ministry and somebody says, no, lo has got ditiro tse dintsi a le nosi bona sa hilwe 100,000. I get fair enough. But how calculate all over the country how much Nando's is been bought by the different departments? Is probably $1 million that government spends on Nando's.
Yeah.
But no, by the way, how many chance?
How much chance?
Yeah. Motswana ha go ra ha batla go bola ba go te
How much chance?
even at the
A good dancer knows when to leave the stage.
I've been in situations where I was doing well. I've got one private sector company that I used to do train. You know, they cut off working with me because the young ones, they were told by somebody at the high office, chance, chance. Not that Buca is not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Not that we don't like what the output. No, but are he chance. Yo chance of yo kilanga batla go tsena se batla go tsena. You tlo go taba gore. Go taba go te nela ba masika me chance ya.
Oh, so we can pay them less.
No, ke batla ska tsena ka re ke nna ke.
Oh, like
ba
that.
chance go ntse jang.
But nakana a rona mathata ka kwana is usually because they want to get in someone cheaper. Like right now, I've been voicing adverts for this other company. My days are numbered. Baby, I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I
have to.
mean? Now they have like a competition.
Yeah.
Around university campuses to find a new voice for this company. So now I get like I want a bit more. So and that's how they exploit our industry, in that they will go for younger and cheaper all the time. So I don't understand Rona. In our, I mean, you did say these companies are not from here, so they don't
care. They don't owe us anything
at all.
Yeah, they don't.
You made me forget my question. So, are we over-regulating, though, for Botswana as compared to other people?
My man, we are over-regulating.
Yeah.
We are over-regulating. Go to council, office one. Office man, office 93. Yeah, tell you. You go there, you tell them
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
Office 93, guy.
Go council, city council. So when you are innovating, let's say you want to open a restaurant or a podcast in the sky or whatever.
Yes.
If the guys will tell you and they can't tell you, oh no, do this in the meantime, so that no. If it's not in Momolau,
then that's
you try to a mobile bar, a scooter, or but or somewhere wherever you can't, because Momolau. So they even stifle innovation. Also, Momolau it's not there.
Jan, you're making me worry about this bus that just got launched. Because
they better check.
It has a bar.
They better check out the Momolau, because also Momolau go canceling by Ramola. If it's you, it's like that. We over-regulation.
Okay, so if you are the mayor of Gaborone right now,
and
what would you do?
We've got a good mayor. I'll say that.
Hey.
The guy, enough for me. This is the guy that can change Gaborone to be what we would aspire it to be, in terms of. But he's hands-on. So if I was him, I would sit down and call all of us and say, guys, I want to transform Gaborone into this way. Where are the impediments? Where are the bottlenecks, especially with regards to council? And then these chokers where you try to feel like George Floyd because we can't move, we can't breathe as entrepreneurs, and we are trying to create jobs for Botswana. So if I was him and I want to go and sit down with him to say these are the things, and this is what we are doing with Job Creators Forum, to find bottlenecks, to remove bottlenecks. So sometimes hey, but how the bottlenecks detail. So you see, there's the caravan ho. It's cancel one day, but what we should be doing now as a proactive council is to see how can we enable these guys regulate in such that so that they thrive. But now but hela mahura le swele di shopo tse mo netlane mo khotshong tse di gwang khaska, and we see that. And but before we know it, so these are the things that when we become proactive in terms of enabling the citizenry, we work together. Guys, come on, you can't look on 100. UB has only so many young people, and there can only be so many business. This is the other thing where we We are always wanting to crowd, a very download, a very senior the little that we have created. Yeah.
I don't know though, because I was watching another podcast, my sister Kathy Balajani, and she was talking with Rip Billy Sokhororan. I think it was like a clip about like how could the Botswana Premier League, I guess, make some money out of that space and those people over there. So I'm always looking at that fragmentation in our thinking. You know what I mean? There they are. There's BPL. You need people coming into the stadium to watch matches as well. Why does it look like it's so hard to collaborate in Botswana? Is it the rules and regulations, or Rona ourselves? We don't have we don't want to work with each other. We want to just work by ourselves as silos.
Yeah, we do not want to build systems that work. And because we don't want to work with systems that work, we are always going to be, as I said, we have to think about it. Tsamaiso ya gore yone BPL ka dirang ga ira gang go le process o apply yang.
Even I was about to get into that. What practical reforms could make it easier for local entrepreneurs to start and
so we know
businesses.
what's needed. We know what's not needed, so that then we can then approach the relevant authorities to say, oh, I want to do this. What can Notwani do to thrive as a football team? 1965.
Because they're never going to put a turf there.
Exactly. Oh, they can. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey,
I have guys from there, man.
Exactly. But go and open their bank account as a team in 1965 and see. But it's because the system cannot see what sports and this and that can
we
do.
Lobby though, Rona, as the citizenry, or do you have to be a registered registered to a party to be able to lobby for people to hear you?
I'm going to ask you a rhetoric question, Ska. You are my son, and I've got kids. But my family, should you always be lobbying me to see Should you always be lobbying me to say Should you always be lobbying me for No. I have to know. This is why I'm saying if a system is proactive on its own, it goes out and says, how can I help you
grow? Yeah.
This is just the system. How can we help you? This should be a mantra or any parastatal that goes to people. Now for me, for instance, if I was to be asked, how can I grow SMEs in Botswana? I'll go to the top 10 Botswana entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
I can see you, Ska, 100 people.
Yeah.
How can I help you get to 1,000? And then you tell me. And then I facilitate that. Go to the next one. Because I'm intentional about what I want to do.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to wait for you to come and beg and then exactly. And then I fail you. I mean, guys like myself, you see, I've applied for, I'm not saying I should and I shouldn't, just like Botswana. So I want Botswana to get perspective. But even guys like myself do fail.
Yeah.
I've applied for SEDA, failed.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. So it's a system that we have to build that says we have the American dream. What is the Botswana dream? When you think the American dream, you know the American dream.
Yeah.
Even Rahak Zente, what is the Botswana dream? What do we want? When I see a young Botswana, what do I see out of him? What do I see enabler? Because I've got the means and the power and the way this should be in our psyche. Yeah. So imagine if we had Botswana who were thinking like that, not for the self. Because once you create the cake, here is the thing. We've got the ingredients. I want to give you another picture. Yeah. We've got the ingredients to bake the cake.
Yeah.
Guys are busy chowing the ingredients. Hello, yasukiri. Hello, yes, east. Oven. But when we were to put things together, we'll bake a cake that is enough for all of us.
Yeah.
Which is what we call the economy. We'll have a cake that is enough for all of us. Botswana now give 99% of Botswana who are entrepreneurs, they don't care about being millionaires. They don't care about billionaires. Yeah. They just want to live a modest living. Yeah. So you can imagine now when we have this big cake where everybody gets a slice.
Yeah.
So those that want to thrive, go Nigeria, go Brazil, go and thrive, go Zambia, go and conquer the world, come back. But why are we not doing that? It's because we have a psyche and a system and a mentality that kumo ga e go tshwanele. Or kumo ga en tshwanele, therefore ga e go tshwanele because of tshwaneleng. So we have this thing it's the crab mentality. Everybody mona le go kasi ha o re mo kasi ya go goga re thusitse ra mo kasi because you want to I've lived out in the US because of Gormento wa rona. I've lived in the UK because ke ne ke bereka. The system there, Botswana, when they get there, they thrive. Any Motswana goes outside Botswana, they thrive.
All the time.
Whether I get nurse, I get teacher,
musician, I've seen it.
Because Botswana have it, guys.
Yeah, we do.
Even South Africa, I simola go phomela ratsa. Ra go economy ele ya bone.
Matata go ba bolela gore Botswana because every Motswana who's ever thrived has a lot of boleletse.
Exactly.
They protect themselves.
Si bi gore selo sa ntla se re se dire gape Botswana ba se ithute bona ba don bele ba boeng. For now, maybe it's a bit contrary. Don't tell about your business. So just keep quiet. I know a friend of mine. That's what we do. That's what we should do. We are forced to now be at the back because I can everybody is going to hate and therefore I'm not going to grow. So it's a psyche, it's a system, it's a mentality, but we have to speak about these things so that we change them. Now, for all I know, I can tell you Botswana are capable. I can go any day, everywhere. And then I'll give you an examples everywhere go by whether go UN, where they are thriving. When Neseko in the UK, Botswana are the most sought after. Bonnes baba trinwen guy kwen HI HI
mo Botswana. So with us though, what lessons do you think we can learn from countries that have successfully created innovation friendly environments?
It's simple. You support your SMEs, you support your own, the economy will thrive. SMEs are the bedrock of any economy. SMEs are the bedrock of any economy. I'll give you an example. Private sector. Private sector, when they hire you to go and cater, they're going to pay you after 30 days or 45 days. That cash flow, but when I so SMEs keep on sharing the goal to Tabato. Sometimes we do after 30 days or whatever days. But until we realize that, as a foundation, these are the people that we should support. These are people that we should anchor on. And it's because once the SME netlani collapses, we are gone. So what we should do now is to have structures that support, patient capital, systems that say the SMEs are playing this space. Also facilitate that growth. Let's have them. Let's have SMEs. Okay, counterparts. Business. Let's have BMC, BTC, Vodacom. Why can't we have that?
I've had friends who start up. Boy, he started up Mafresh. He ended up having to sell it. His dream was ultimately to make it into like a franchise or something like that. We are living in a time where everyone is cooking. You know, now everyone is jumping into catering. But they go CBD, they're on the sides of the roads, car washing. What is that saying about us though? Like our ability to be innovative and be able to tap into what's available out there, because it seems like we're copying from each other way more than we are trying to do other types of businesses. The tire, car wash, the gaol.
I'll tell you why. There's a reason why we always feel Botswana ba kopelana, Botswana ba ring, and it's a simple fact because of the system that beats us down. When the system beats you down, in a pyramid, there's only a few at the top and many of us here. So that's why I'm kopelana. How did a podcast rerun. But it's also one thing, if you do access, easy access. It's di motlho.
Low barriers of entry.
No barriers of entry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes,
the word,
sir.
my man.
Yes, sir.
Barriers of entry.
Yeah.
But the up how you go dim, the more now batla go impact, then becomes barriers of entry.
Yeah.
Then becomes regulation.
Yeah, okay,
then becomes the stifling part.
Because even some of the restaurants all over the country here, especially the high-end ones, are owned by pretty much sometimes the family.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean. You know, hey, so why can't we scale there?
Yeah, we can't scale because number one, we don't have the support, but also we don't have the finances, we don't have the muscle. When I'm fresh, could have scaled an alemad, but nobody also own alemad like saying how can I approach you? Can we
why
grow
don't we
together?
have that?
Yeah.
Why don't we have that even in okay, you did say or private sector go South Africa, so they don't care. Why don't we have that? Why don't we have identifiers who say, yo, that one is putting their head up? But
how can we do that, the body, when as ourselves we beat each other down?
Yeah.
It becomes a crab mentality. First, boy, business you are skeptical. But let it be somebody else. You're gonna and then it's go. So typical example how we fail to scale. So somebody comes $20 and hat and amono. Now he owns the largest chain stores in Botswana, right?
Yeah.
But we say our mom and pop stores, Mama Khaye, Ndilite, Buca and Sons, and how did that happen? It happened because we as a system, we are not collaborating. We did not collaborate. Bone as a system, they collaborate. When they go and buy, they go and buy in bulk. You should go to the Chinese Plaza, Oriental Plaza. But container I want. No, I'd rather take my own container, make it in the box, say one more thing. So it cannot happen because it's a system, it's a culture, it's a mindset, it's a psyche. So unless we change that scar, unless we change the fact that we can collaborate, they had them, these philosophies. They had them. But no, we'd rather and then compete amongst each other. You be ba ikopanya ba itire conglomerate day one ba re a re direng selo se one a re direng go le sekele yana a re direng e be rena company e be re bereka mo teng e be re structure yana e be nna re jahela collaboration. We don't collaborate. Because we don't collaborate, nobody's going to come out of the quads and think about collaborate. South Africans are going to come in, take what they take it back. Chinese are going to come in, take what they take, go back. Everybody's going to do that. They've done that. Legadi Deman is our own. They've taken what they've taken. Now they want to sell. Done.
Do you think we should buy DPS?
Hey, what's up with it? So, I'm a product of diamonds, huh? Literally. Yeah, but literally because I grew up also in Orapa.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
know that.
So I've seen the shine, what diamonds can do. But I'm gonna ask a rhetoric question. So I'm not answering your question, but I'm gonna make it rhetoric. So, where are the diamonds?
Here.
Whose earth are they under?
Ours.
Exactly. So if these guys Batsama determine the Batsama got one.
No,
exactly. So they are still ours anyway. so yeah. So when we negotiate, as we see, so that's your negotiation.
Hey, no, we don't need.
Did you see the light bulb? No, you saw the light bulb.
No, okay,
yeah. So I'm not saying that.
Hey, no,
I'm just saying determine the thing is a rule. So you can even say Rubite Buca whatever. Determine it's a rule. And do whatever we want to do with our diamonds.
Do you think they didn't show us how to do what they do?
And
also
did they have to?
No, I'm also saying that because we've had kind of we talk about tobacco blind book. If you keep on or okay, matala a lairisa somewhere. Bona ba irisa matala a mo go rona go di bareng go matchering hela. botlhale bo ke eng malaitia le bomme ba bana ba sa botseng mo go boneng gore di-beers e spana yang gore re kgone gore re set up a company e nngwe e be re no ebile a re tlhoke company ya lona.
These companies are ruthless, okay? Companies, when they come into a country, they first understand your psyche. They first understand. So now I've got first-hand experience because they first divide you. The first division is like the bend. The bend, E bend, D bend, what bend. Guy.
Yeah.
Kono le go re go bitsa re summer pallage go nna ba tshwarang tak ba dubang tak and then go nna le go re go bitsa re go tshabantja ba ra sa go bitsa go tshabantja go bitsa go makgweng. So you see the psyche.
Yeah.
So even the guys that are put into places re ba bitsa ke the house negro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the house negro to run these things, and then we are divided. So now at the end they start running for the interests of DBS than running the interests of Botswana. So I'll ask you, there's a Botswana and DBS, right? Botswana. You know what DBS is doing now, right?
It's pulling out of Botswana.
No. You know what? We know what they are doing as a company. DBS.
What they're doing with our
who they are.
Yeah.
The Swana part. Who's the Swana part? In Botswana, what are they doing?
The government.
Is it government? Should it be government? Should it have been an entity?
Contract. It's not me.
Yeah, but should it have been an entity that also works into that space?
I thought that was what the plan was. We are mentoring this Swana part to actually learn the business.
But the Swana part is not there.
It doesn't exist at all.
It does not. We eat guys Swana. The Swana is not there. But like Ubua, but it shouldn't have been it. Should have been an entity that is running in tandem. So that when these guys go, we have everything. We know everything about diamonds. But somebody just decided, no, I run from the political office and and when we did that, we disengaged, and they understood. Now, what you then do, you buy favor and politicians with this one, and then now here we are, and the new government now deal with the mess that we've created since 1965 or 1970 when the diamonds were first discovered. Yeah. So, what we can do now is to get Botswana is in the Swana part. This is the Swana part. And ask them, what do we do? What can we do given that we've got the resource underground? But not only that, let's not make the mistakes now what we did with diamonds. We've got gold, we've got copper, we've got uranium, we've got this. How do we do it now better, knowing that we knew? Can I tell you, as a matter of fact, Botswana has the best mining engineers, the best mining culture, the best mining everything in all of Africa and in the world. I've had Botswana second year, go Canada, go Australia, and they thrive. Ele engineers. I know a young person who can learn go Canada or running a mine. What did they man? So Botswana have it. But at home because because we never want to believe in our own. We're all gonna leave this family wealth. Family wealth disappear. Reja boswa mususumpelo ska. Reja boswa mususumpelo, guys. I'm gonna say this. Reja boswa ja Botswana mususumpelo. Rele Botswana. I'm not pointing fingers, but Ronahela as a system, as an economy, we are not serious about doing this. It needs somebody who's crazy. We need
robust.
Radical. Not for me, a benevolent dictator. I wish ski-headed. But because I don't know who me like he doesn't need anything. So just to hit hard and say Kirela Botswana.
Because I think we're feeding too many other people's interests over Botswana and the future of Botswana. Because I remember when this whole diamond capital thing was popping up, where we thought we're going to be sorting diamonds like we are Europe.
Go be Belgium. They know more about diamonds. They don't have a single diamond mine. But now I see more about diamonds. In a diamond mine. But because in kana na re tsuso e bile no sa ruidi koko no sa bola eno nyane because ha ka bola no nyane ha go ikhala tema ni moteng wa tronko. I'm telling you guys, these are the things that we this thing of the psyche and playing with people's minds. Ile bara khona makwa ba bara khona to the T. But because the good thing about it is that we then went to their schools responsible like government. When we got in there, speaking their language, in their culture, we beat them hands down. In class. we Dean's Leading first semester you're in the Dean's list because you are smart. But we are like that.
We are like that. I always say that all the time. Like,
then, hey, 10, 20, 30 years later, the guy that I was beating in class in the US comes here. Ke an expert do tlo bolang economy ya rena ka tsamaya a gaisa nna o ne ke mo bet ke mo babola mo classing.
Hey,
give me there's nobody in this world o ka ntangare ele mo shape o nkgaisa ka Botswana jwa Botswana nna.
Yeah.
Ayo. Or to help my people. Ayo. Gaisa nnete bila nkitla nna teng. Because I've lived it. I am it.
You are it.
I am it.
Yeah.
But for you to now tell me our solutions are going to come from somebody from the West, no.
Yeah, we can't be doing that.
Because when there are solutions, do like guy.
Yeah.
By this perpetuating this mentality that black men were now on now. You know, there are guys who are sitting in the UK right now and looking at our tourism and thinking that's my land.
Yeah.
That is why in because it's our elephants. At the end of the day, that's their psyche. But you are from a young age, those are
yeah.
Why can't we have that mindset, Lorna, when we go in? Because I've seen it's only when you do that you come out of this. It's typical you call it decolonization of your mind, where you now see what every Motswana or every black person is capable, is equally capable, and they deserve a chance at the seat. And then once we get to that, we will then thrive as a people, as a continent, and as a culture.
Hey, my dad is the one who got that mindset in my head. I think I used to go England. Hey, I was thinking.
So rena go bone nna ska ke nne le bone ko mining ra iswa dikolong ra ba bona and then you then realize khamona no khona go tse o mongwe bona le mo setla abo mana go tonna go makgweng o tsile. And the funny thing is there was never a lekgowa or a white person who lived in the so they only lived in the houses and even la you understand?
Definitely.
And it's a culture. How do people to a point where they've made so
I get allegedly Thornhill is doing the same thing. Allegedly, I can really feel allegedly is doing the same thing. Even teacher assistants because they're Caucasian are getting paid more than teachers who've been there for years. So I think in mindset and I think because we think what apartheid was just next door. Sometimes white privilege is a bit more.
Yeah, but Scar, you see, even that
white and Indian
compare
privilege.
that. Compare that. We will then go and beat up a Don Bell and leave a school like that because why? No, Xamangamla. Yeah, what's but even above the rate this young lady there's so many. I remember Babangwe, but 5-7 years back, he was never closed. But here we are, and it's a Motswana.
Hey man, with the Kalanga name, man, Motswana.
Get this also, even the pension capital, the pension fund, the pension funds, or Tsarun, they finance these companies. South Africa.
Right now.
No, they finance the companies, but they will never put pension capital on you.
Yeah. Hey man. We're getting closer to the end of our conversation because you're breaking my heart.
I want to break hearts.
We're going to get a part 2, of course. I wanted just a couple last questions. How do you think we can shift consumer attitudes to value and trust homegrown brands?
Products,
I've
got a friend of mine, Olikana Len Naska. This guy is brilliant. He's an engineer. He was, I think now he look on Microsoft, and he said, "No, I'm gonna go home and make earning big bucks." He comes to Botswana. He starts him as well. And those are brilliant minds.
Brilliant minds.
So he manufactures the deal. He manufactures them, and he put up infrastructure and machinery and guess what? Not a single chair bought from him. And he was employing about 100, I think, about 70 employees. Not a single chair bought from him. He says, oh, okay, now, so that it's gonna get these granules, it's a plastic from China, I'm gonna set up more skipping, good wasting, I'm gonna set up a system, it's plastic because I'm gonna regenerate this plastic and then make the deal. Get this machinery, he's put it there. It's using his money. Done.
What I take you. We're trying to get him on the show also. I wonder why we don't have his computers everywhere.
When we are getting computers, but how can we enable him to start now? The gadgets. What can we do? The screen is innovative in homes. What can we have? Now somebody like that, want to have a situation where I have a conversation with him and ask these difficult questions, because we can only grow, Scar, when we have these conversations.
Yes, sir.
But I can tell you, my man, I know Botswana who are amazing. I'm talking to one right now, Odilanga Biomass, where when how tlhagola tshimo, you know how tlhagola tshimo di tlhare tsa teng, he knows how to di tlhare tseo wa di tsa abadira charcoal. And with just that, o kgona go hira thousands of people. But he's not being enabled. He can't, because he has to talk to this one, talk to that. But also now, it's worse because we hear communities. So communities go here for me. There's biomass. Charcoal. In Namibia, it's a big thing. Namibia is like number one. He got an order about 100 tons or 200 tons in the UAE. I'd say charcoal. He can't provide. Guy.
Hey. And like I said, I wish we could go on forever, but I want to talk way forward. You know, what kind of Botswana do you envision if entrepreneurship is truly embraced and supported?
I envision we are going there. We're going to get there. So with entrepreneurship, you never give up. You never give up on yourself. Some of us have failed more than we have won. I've failed more than 1,000,000 times.
No, you always get up.
Yeah, and I fail. I'm still going to be failing. It's not romance, guys. It's not romance. But it's what the failures are doing to most of us, to say there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Botswana are able and capable. But Botswana we are going to enable them, we are going to support them, we're going to help them, because to the next level. To the next level. So if some of us are going to be sacrificial lambs into where we are headed, we are willing. But I'm not going to paint a gloomy picture. I'm going to tell you, I see us thriving, but only when we get back to who we are as Botswana, who we know we are. You know, Pinarna Sichaba is loaded with codes. It's coded. Yari. Fasileno gila boma. Laron. Kibo swajo boma.
Baba na bar na kere.
Ebi rabo mangere tsogang.
Tsogamba na. Tsogamba sadi.
Basadi khati bona ba robala tlo. So the main, this culture where somebody in 65 writes a nice national anthem and puts layers in there that speak to us now. So only when we wake up, when the Basadi, our women stand and say, this is Ardireleng Hatsela Rona.
Damn.
I think that's why that will then close the thing. So then when we have Rubber Plantile CD on whoever is going to be listening, that's the national anthem. Go and read it again like Obala novel. Otto Bonore KT Motsete on 20 bones.
Come on, man.
But at least to appear more
on the money
on the 20 bucks.
Until we win another gold medal.
I would love to speak to Kukumane Tsahagwe to see how revered, what is it that they are doing for him, because these are the guys. QKJ, Matante, all these guys that built the Botswana, that this Botswana our forefathers. So I see growth. I see positivity. I see robust engagement. I see fights, because we have to fight. I see uncomfortable conversations. We have to have uncomfortable conversations, but we will thrive as a nation.
And hey, I love your optimism. It's not like a DGB.
Yeah.
DGB doesn't think we're going to fail.
No.
He's resolute, and I love that. I mean, from any leader, you have to be optimistic. Finally, what would you say to a young Motswana who wants to start a business but feels the system is loaded against them?
Yeah, it's not easy, but you can do it. You can do it because we live in a world where you can run your business from here but still make money in the US, in the UK, and especially if you are a creative. Do that, innovate. Somebody somewhere will see you. Ha se tlhola le bogologolo wena o tshwanetse go ipapatsa o boya go radio botswana gore ke dumedisa semamang ke nna semamang. No. Now you can go on TikTok, you can go on Instagram, you can go on to all these platforms where now you sell your services. So you can do it. Young Motswana, this is it. This is your culture. This is your time. Thrive. Thrive. But once we find our footing, it would be easier for you to move forth. But also challenge the system, challenge us, engage us. This is where then we can grow this beautiful republic of ours through shared values and shared community engagements.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Buca Matenge. Thank you so much, big homie. No, we're going to continue it after this, man. And shout out to Local Corner as well. Shout out to Capello. It's been an eye-opening conversation.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
If you are listening and you're in the private sector or in the private space, here's a platform that needs sponsorship. Sometimes it doesn't even need a lot. Sometimes it's just a retainer of 500 pula such that the lights are always on.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's just 1,000 pula to just keep the petrol moving end to end.
Definitely.
They are not asking for too much. It's a young Motswana that you've seen him grow, and he's reinventing himself because he knows if you don't reinvent yourself, the phone. You chose the phone. You did this to reinvent yourself. So let's get people coming on board to supporting platforms like this. And I'm hoping in the next month or two you'll be getting calls.
Definitely.
Because Buca said, let's support.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, King
Sure,
Book.
buddy.
And that is our show, guys. We'll catch you next week on Wednesday at the same time. And yeah, man, it's been fun. Hope you guys have a great time as well, wherever you're watching us. We out. Peace.
Of different identities. Podcast with Big SCA.